So, Chud the Builder has been charged with attempted murder. A lot of people have been saying that they saw this one coming, okay? They knew that this was going to happen. This guy had been antagonizing the black community for quite some time, been saying the N-word, all types of horrible stuff. And essentially, he effed around and found out. And now he's going to be having to deal with the consequences of this. But a lot of people saw this coming. And there's been some very interesting discussions about this over the past few days, even before the incident happened, where people have been discussing basically what Chud is actually doing out here, what the consequences of this are going to be. And look, there was a live stream just last week between academics and Myron Gaines from the Fresh and Fit podcast. Very controversial but prolific figure when it comes to, political commentary, relationships. Maybe not quite in the same way as Chud, but Myron's another one of those people who says whatever the F he wants, whenever he wants to say it, the consequences be damned. So it would be really interesting to hear what his thoughts on this are, because he is a free speech absolutist as far as I'm aware. And basically they would discuss this just a few days ago before this all actually happened. And it would just be super interesting to see a little bit of, a bit of predictions, right? Because people knew this was going to happen. It says Myron and DJ Academics discussed self-defense after the viral clips of Chud beefing with black people. And he said, what I think is going to happen with Chud is someone is going to assault him. And that's what happened. And then we saw the boot-in that came after.
What I think is going to happen with this Chud the Builder guy is that someone is going to assault him. They're going to punch him. And it feels like he's been saying, if you attack me, I'm going to kill you. And that is a legal conundrum that is being tabled, and it's probably going to happen at a certain point. But I don't think legality falls in his lap in terms of him thinking that his actions would be protected, right? So let me ask you a question. If you go for a jog,
go ahead.
If you go for a jog, right, somebody sees you, you're jogging, whatever, you're jogging through a park, they'd be like, they see you have your gun on you, they don't know. They see you, they'd be like, hey, ain't you the nigga from the Fresh and Fit podcast? You'd be like, yeah, what's up, man? And you keep jogging. They'll be like, man, didn't you say you don't fuck with whatever? And you're like, yeah, you keep, and then they just sock you.
Yep.
Bang.
Yep.
Are you then allowed, like you're not like knocked out, but you're fucking startled. Are you then allowed to take your gun out and defend yourself, or do you have to catch a squabble?
It depends on the situation. So like if he catches me off guard and he hits me and I didn't see him coming and I don't know what he has and I shoot him, that'll probably be a clean shoot depending on the situation. Because the thing is, man, every use of force situation is so different, and then it's based on what was known to the individual at the time. Let's say it's nighttime. It's early morning, right? I'm running. I could say, and he hits me. Well, I can't see his hands. I don't know what happened. He just came up on me. It's nighttime, etc. That changes the pattern of facts significantly. So, was there anyone else with him? Was there someone else in another car and they were saying some things? Did he say, I'm going to kill you? Did he say, I'm going to knock you out, blah, blah, whatever? All of these different factors, and this is why use of force is so tricky, because it depends on all the different multitude of factors that came in that led you to, that use of force. Some idiot in your chat says something about, pepper spray doesn't, you can't be met with lethal force. It absolutely can. Pull out pepper spray on a cop and see what happens, dumbass. Some niggas are stupid in your chat, bro. No offense. Pull out pepper spray on a cop and see what happens. You're going to get shot. 100%.
Wait. You believe law enforcement would they would shoot someone who was trying to pepper spray?
Bro, if you pull out pepper spray on a cop, you're dead. I'm telling you right now, you're dead. You are going to get shot. And I'll tell you why. Because every cop gets pepper sprayed in the academy, and ask anyone in here that's law enforcement. Almost every police academy forces you to get pepper sprayed and definitely tased, especially if you carry a taser. If you pull out pepper spray on a cop, you're going to get shot. 100%. Because people need to understand, when it comes to police officers, they elevate to a level above the force that's being used against them. So if you go ahead and you punch a cop or whatever, right? Or you have your hands, whatever, depending on the situation. They're going to pull out a taser. They're going to pull out a baton. They're going to use numbers. They're always going to make it where there's a saying, you go home no matter what. That's what every single police department teaches you. This is what every federal agency teaches you. You go home no matter what. You win every single fight. If that means you beat his ass with a baton, if that means you tase him, if that means you pepper spray him, if it means it's 70 odd niggas and you whoop his ass, you're going to go home. That's what they teach you. That's why they're so aggressive if you ever show any type of force against them. So if you try to squabble up, they're going to tase or shoot you. If you try to pull out OC, you're 1,000% going to get shot. That's why some people in your chat are retarded. I know offense, some of y'all niggas are stupid and need to just shut up. If you pull out pepper spray, you're going to get shot by the police. 100%. You're going to get shot.
So I was thinking that maybe you would probably get shot because a police officer has lethal weapons on their person, and if they become incapacitated, you could probably use those weapons to not only kill them but kill other people. So they need to, number one, when you pull out anything, make sure that they're still vigilant and still within whatever. So
sure, because they have the right to be the aggressor. So I understand yes, but also, well, as a private civilian, if you got a gun on you, and someone knocks you out, you can also articulate that you're incapacitated, they can take your gun from you and kill you. Same situation.
Wow. So look, Myron's making some very interesting points, and he says it all depends on some of the specific circumstances. He said you pull out pepper spray on a cop, they're going to smoke you, all right? And if you in a reasonable suspicion believed it was dark, you didn't know. So if Chud goes to court and says, I thought he had a firearm, I thought he was wrestling for my firearm, whatever, he might beat this. But the antagonizing aspect, a lot of people are saying no, because he was antagonizing them, he's not going to beat this. But that's subjective. If he can make a reasonable argument that he was in danger, he genuinely feared for his life and his safety, and he thought that the other person could have either had a firearm or got hold of his firearm, he might beat this. But we shall see. But academics has been kind of debating on Chud the Builder kind of for quite some time. And one of the more explosive back and forths that ended up happening was when he popped out with Sneako, okay? Controversial streamer, all right? Allegedly, maybe, you know what I'm saying? I ain't even going to say too much, okay? But Sneako's a controversial figure. I don't agree with a lot of what he says. I think he is a very insecure man. But anyway, okay, he called out Sneako for defending Chud the Builder, and he turned the tables on Sneako in a pretty incredible way that I just thought was like, wow, you just tied Sneako up right there.
It says Sneako said he spoke to him and warned him to stay.
Chud the Builder's side. Yeah, I saw that. What do you guys think about Chud the Builder? What do you guys think about him? He chimped out on me. He chimped out on me when I met with Ed Craven, the Kick CEO. He was really upset that I had a meeting with...
Who gives a fuck what he thinks?
The Kick CEO. And I messaged him. I'm like, you chimped out on me. And he's like, yeah, you're right. And I saw he's getting his hat snatched. I'll just be straight up. I reached out to him and I told him, bro, you should probably do some desktops, because a lot of people are thinking that...
Yo, Sneako, I'm going to keep it a bean. You my friend, but we might have to take your nigga pass. We can't have you say nigga no more neither, bro. Hold on now, nigga. Hell nah. You see the N-word don't hit it, like, you look like you from Vietnam or some shit, nigga. Hold on now, brother. You over here telling this nigga safety tips? Nah. Let him stay out in the streets. What do you mean? Talking about you tell him to stay inside, like you care about his well. Yo, Sneako, we might have to revoke your nigga pass, bro. Word up, bro. Hell nah.
So look, the end pass is getting revoked from Sneako, man, for fraternizing with and giving advice to this alleged racist grifter. Now, during their discussion, academics would ask Sneako, who is Muslim, would it be acceptable for Chud to do the same thing in a mosque, right? You about to see him tongue-tied.
Do some demonstration at the mosque, right? Wouldn't that be cool? Let me ask you a question. Wouldn't it be cool if he goes to like who be at the mosque? That's Muslims? If he went there and he's seeing people kneeling and said, oh, y'all chimping out. Oh, y'all chimping. Oh, y'all kneeling? Y'all praying? Oh, y'all chimping out. Look at these motherfuckers chimping out right here. Look at them. They're all kneeling. They're chimping out. That would be amusing too, right?
I didn't say it was good. I've said
no, you said it was fun.
This happens to Sneako a lot, right? He picks these controversial opinions that aren't very easy to defend. He thinks he's a master debater, pun intended. And, he basically, cements his flag in the ground. It's cool to sing Heil Hitler. Hitler was not a bad guy. That's what the type of thing he says. He said that to my face when I see him. He said, what did Hitler do that was so bad? I said, well, if you don't want to believe the Holocaust happened, then, the bombing of London, maybe. Guy doesn't even know his history. But anyway, basically, like, Sneako takes these very indefensible points. He plants his flag in the ground, and then he basically gets taken down by pretty flimsy, quite easy to come up with arguments, and then he just kind of sidesteps and wriggles his way out. That's the Sneako method, okay? So it's like, oh, it's not... Yes, you're in this sort of quite racist right-wing grifter world, and, it's all well and good sticking up for free speech when people are pulling up saying the N-word to black people's faces. But if we do it in the mosque... If I'm popping out with the bacon sandwich in the mosque in the name of free speech, you ain't going to be able to defend that, okay? And he doesn't believe many of the things he says. He's just picking opinion. He's just cherry-picking opinions that are going to hit the algorithm that day.
Funny, would that be amusing?
It was good. I've said
no, you said it was funny. Would that be amusing? Would it be amusing if he showed up to the mosque, he put the camera up, and he said, look at all these niggas, they're on their knees on the mat. They're chimping out.
Niggas, don't say that.
Okay.
First he said...
All right, suppose he said that. No, suppose he said that. Would it be...
But you said they were the 9/11 hijackers. Those were Saudi.
Okay, so you're trying to switch the conversation. You said when he...
See, he can't actually defend his point, so it's like he'd be looking for these little off ramps, these little out. Oh, let me make my point about. Let me move the goalpost.
He had a conversation with African Americans or whatever. It was amusing. Do you think that would be amusing if he showed up to one of these religious places where people are praying, knee on the mat, doing all this stuff, Allahu Akbar shit, and he grabs his camera and said, "Look at these motherfuckers chimping out." Would that be amusing to you?
I'm saying he should.
No. Would it be amusing? Because you said that it was amusing when he was talking to the blacks.
He shouldn't antagonize. I said he shouldn't antagonize people that are.
All right, I know you said that, but you said it was amusing. You said it was funny. Would that be funny?
That's not funny.
Why?
Oh, that's not. Oh, the free speech. We're cutting off the free. When it offends me, Sneako. It's not fun. It's not funny. It's not funny when it affects me.
Why is that not funny? But the ankle monitor on the black guy's foot, him doing that. Why is that funny?
Interesting, right? Very, very interesting. So as this debate went on, right, they started talking about like the power of the N-word, and obviously this is a very hot topic. Obviously, I don't say the N-word, but they would basically talk about it, and a big part of this thing that Chud is doing, it's arguably performance art. I'm not saying I condone it, but it's like he's basically doing this societal performance art where he's showing you what happens if you say the N-word to black people in public. Look, let's be real. I got black friends. I don't know what would happen if I popped out with the N-word, because I don't do it. I don't say it. All right. But sometimes you do wonder. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I've got a very strange brain. All right. Sometimes you might wonder, you might be with a group of people and you might think like, right, if I said the word right now, it would go down. I would get jumped. I'm never going to do it. I don't do that. But you do think if I'd have just popped, no jumper time is when I'm surrounded by gang members on a podcast. All right. Might be some Hispanics, might be some black people, might be some all type of people, white people. But you do want to, like, if I popped out and said the word right now in front of the whole world, what would happen? I'd probably get jumped. Probably be bad. Okay. It's a powerful word. And what Chud is essentially doing, I'm not condoning it, but he is low key showing you what happens. He's fucking around and finding out in front of the whole world for our entertainment and our amusement. Now, if he gets jumped, it's deserved. We kind of know that's how this thing goes down. Arguably, what he's trying to do is bait people and basically, bitch them out, because it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to say it to you and you're not going to do anything. I'm going to film it and show that to the world. Now, it's very, very, very rude, very offensive, but that's his performance. That's his shock and awe performance that he's putting out there, and it's making him money. So basically, they would debate. Sneako would say, I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. People get upset. And he's saying, oh, so you're admitting it's two different words. If one evokes a different feeling than another, the same word. Sneako says, the point is you shouldn't allow it to evoke that feeling. Disarm it. It's only the power you give it. You're now blaming the people who are offended rather than the people who are choosing to offend. Now, I kind of get some of Sneako's point here, because it's like, at the end of the day, as a black person in America, there's centuries of subjugation. We're still living in the shadow of slavery. Being called the N-word, especially with the hard ER by a white person, is extremely offensive and triggering, but you got to rise above it. Okay, I know you would want to jump someone, and people deserve to get jumped for saying the N-word to a black person, but you got to be the bigger person and walk away. Because especially in Chud's case, he's just trying to provoke you and trick you out of your position and send you back to a pattern of behavior that is not helpful for you, and it threatens your freedom. So it is very bad what he's doing, but at the same time, he knows the buttons he's pushing. He is trying to provoke people, and he is trying to provoke an aggressive response. It's wrong, but I think it's interesting, and their discussion kind of veers into the power of the word.
We got to start like revoking like all these nigga passes, because y'all wait. So when you let me ask you a question. All right, let me ask you a question. No, I got a better one for you. I got a better one for you.
It is.
No, I got a better one for you then. If you think they're the same word, why don't you get up on here, or when you're talking to people, don't say nigga, say nigger. Why don't you do it?
I don't want to hurt.
No. So you're admitting they're two different words. So why don't you use them interchangeably? Why don't you use them interchangeably?
Because it's going to make you upset. I don't want to hurt you.
Oh, so you're agreeing that they mean different things, or they would like that? That's what words are. If one word would evoke a different feeling than another word, are they the same word?
The point is, you should not allow it to evoke the same feeling. Why would you let a word have that power? Disarm it. It only has the power that you give it. The same way that word's...
Yo, bro, you sound like Ye when he said slavery is a choice. Like, yo, what's up with you, bro? Like, you're now blaming the people who are offended rather than the people who are choosing to offend. Like, they're going out of their way to choose to offend. Place. Yeah, even going back to your point. So the harder you are, right?
they have made a relative word that's this nigga that is more, oh, hey, we're going to try to strip some of the, historical slavery past, and we're going to try to make it a cool type of colloquial. You're going to still defend the other shit?
I'm saying that the hard ER should be used colloquially the same way that nigga has been.
Right. So the conversation would go on, okay, and Sneako would claim that the N-word has no meaning, and academics wouldn't be feeling that, okay? And the idea that N-word doesn't have any meaning.
How you're equating this individual word that doesn't have real meaning unless you to the holy book, to the word.
Every word has meaning, brother.
The word of God compared to a word about slavery, where slavery doesn't exist anymore. You are equating the word of God to a slur that is outdated. Those two aren't the same, and that's the whole point. And that's the whole point. You cannot have those two things be equal. The word of God is not equivalent to this individual word.
Okay, if you say word has no meaning, say fuck Allah right now.
Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm asking you. I'm asking you to say it because it should have no meaning, right? There's a fucking meaning to it, right?
Okay.
Clearly, like you wouldn't.
He can't process that, can he? He can't process that because it's free speech for everybody else unless it's against the Muslims, all right? Can't offend the Muslims, all right? And look, a lot of Muslims are moderate, but there's extremists that are part of that religion, and that's why you see people in the UK doing demonstrations where they're burning Qurans in the streets as part of their free speech, and they're getting stabbed, all right? There's a famous case in the UK, a guy burnt a Quran on the street and he got stabbed by a Muslim, and I'm sure a lot of moderate Muslims wouldn't condone that behavior. And again, it's victim blaming. And the guy that burned the Quran got charged with breaching the peace. I'm not even sure if the guy that stabbed him got charged, all right? That's the state of the UK right now. But it's just another thing where it's like, Sneako, if you're really a free speech absolutist, you need to free it up and let people make fun of the Muslims. But you can't because it's a disingenuous argument and you're just not being honest with the audience.
Say that, right?
Because do you not see the point that you're making? How are you equating God?
Words have meaning, brother.
How are you equating God, disrespecting God, the Almighty, something that we have faith in, to something that only has meaning if we attribute meaning to it? God has meaning without us. This hard R word, listen, this word only has the meaning that you give to it. Allah exists without us.
What you just told me, you can't disrespect God. Okay, get it, and I agree. But you can disrespect an entire group of people, and your solution to that is that the entire group of people should just not be offended.
That word,
you're doing both.
Only has
whether you say the hard ER or you say fuck Allah.
So you're saying black people have no right to be offended, but Muslims have the ultimate God-given right to be offended at all times. If you even so much as to draw people from the holy book, let alone offend them, let alone say racist things in the mosque, okay? This is no put down towards Muslims, but let's be real, that is a religion that is most closely guarded when it comes to free speech. You're not really allowed to say certain things about the faith of Islam. Now, I do think that people should respect other people's religion. I have respect for Muslims, I have respect for Christians, Jewish people, all of that. But at the same time, jokes are jokes, and I also agree, religion is a little bit ridiculous, and you should be able to make fun of all the religions. Like, you really mean to tell me you got a big man in the sky, and he sent down some book that some guy who you believe wrote the whole thing? Oh, he spoke to God. Got any proof? No. But they want us to all not make fun of this absurd notion of religion, okay? I'm not religious, all right? I wouldn't say I'm an atheist, maybe I'm agnostic, but like, there's definitely I believe in something, but big man in the sky, it's a little bit absurd, okay? So it is worthy of mockery. But as Sneako says, you're allowed to make fun of black people. You're allowed to make light of the hundreds of years of slavery and all of the horrible things that the African-American community has gone through, but don't come in the mosque cracking jokes, all right? Don't come in the mosque cracking jokes. So anyway, all right, all of this has been going on and everybody's digging deeper into Chud the Builder, okay? And there's been some new information about his past that's now come out. So this is kind of a big breakdown of some of his antics, okay? And it is very, very interesting. So someone says, this is Pazios on X, okay? Interesting. So he says, all right, I wasn't going to share all of this, but I'm tired of seeing orthodox people on here praise and promote the public antics of Dalton aka Chud the Builder. He's an extremely mentally ill person. You have no idea the kind of damage he's doing to himself, his family, including his toddler son, who are all getting the same death threats as him, and the damage he did to the Holy Protection Orthodox Church in Clarksville, Tennessee. That parish is currently without a priest, and on the brink of shutting down in large part due to the damage he caused here. For his talk on his streams about black people and minorities destroying the fabric of American society, spreading mistrusts, threats, and chaos. That is exactly what he did to what was once the most high-trust and close-knit parish community I ever experienced. I switched from my Antiochian parish to the Holy Protection in early 2024, right before Chud became a catcherman there. I don't know what that means. I fell in love with the parish and the community, and I was convinced that this was the parish I wanted to raise my family in. It was a stable, full of young families, very safe. Most of the men there were either carpenters or soldiers. You couldn't imagine a more perfect, Orthodox Americana parish. Not long after Chud started attending there, he started projecting the same public antics you see on his stream towards the entire parish. Several families ended up leaving, in particular 2 families who were Christian refugees from Muslim countries he particularly threatened and harassed. That's just good fun, according to Sneako. That's just a bit of funny entertainment banter on stream, according to Sneako, right? Right? They said things got worse over the summer when the parish found out he was abusing his fiancée and their baby, who were also catchermans at the parish with them. I didn't just hear about it, I saw it. He was constantly smoking weed around the baby and would pour bottles of water on his baby's head when he got tired of it crying. In addition, he was constantly kicking his fiancée and baby out of his house every other week to hook up with college girls from Austin Peay State University. Despite knowing all of this, the parish doubled its efforts to try mentally and spiritually to rehabilitate Chud. I was part of these efforts. We tried our best to forgive him 70 times 7 and see him as a very broken and traumatized man from his past and his childhood in desperate need of Christ and his healing and peace. All of us were slowly losing our sanity in the process. The priest himself showed Chud more grace and mercy than anyone in the parish and was putting so much effort into helping him. By fall of that year, what was once the most close-knit and high-trust parish community I'd ever experienced became the most distrusting and disconnected parish community I'd ever seen. Me and several others felt spiritually destroyed. And by the time I returned to my Antiochian parish at the end of October, I'd forgotten how to even pray. I revisited that parish almost a year later and saw the people who stuck it out there. I saw half of the parish had started acting like Chud and half were trying their best to just ignore it. Then finally, fall of last year, the parish had no choice but to ask him to leave when he went viral for his public antics and the wave of death threats started coming in, and several families with small children were going to leave because they didn't feel safe around him. I tried to explain to Chud the parish is still trying to help you, not turn on you, but he wouldn't have it and started lashing out at me over and over again in text messages, then blocked me. I've prayed for him every single day since October of last year. To many of you who don't understand real-world consequences, his antics are heroic, entertaining, and saving white America. But to those of us who know him, his antics are disheartening, self-destructive, and harming his family. You guys don't even know part of his antics are because of his insecurity, knowing he isn't fully white. He's half Middle Eastern. Instead of encouraging his public antics, just pray for his healing and peace in Christ. Okay? That is crazy. That is actually crazy. So yeah, that's quite interesting. Okay, it sounds like he was causing a lot of problems. So those claims that he was causing issues for the mother of his child, Chud would actually apparently address this himself.
I'll just tell you
in this clip where he says he appears genuinely upset about his ex-wife wanting to change the son's name because of the backlash surrounding him. He says he feels misunderstood and can't fathom why this is happening to him since he gets nothing but love in public and believes the hate only comes from the N-words. I don't condone this language.
I might as well just tell you what I'm really upset about. My son's mother texted me today saying that she wants to change his name. Switch it from mine. She fears for him. She said, she's like, oh, you've tarnished your name, and I don't want him to have to deal with that. And I'm sitting there thinking, I walk through the streets and respectable people are literally stopping their cars in the road to shake my hand. I'm walking past people that want to take a picture every second. And the only people that don't like me are niggers that are trying to kill me. I might as well.
So just to make it clear, I denounce his language there, okay? I do not condone or promote that sort of language. Very unfortunate that he even said that. Just make that very clear, okay? Make that very clear. We're documenting a racist for journalistic purposes. We do not condone any of these statements. But anyway, back to an alleged post from 2025 from a dating Facebook. People were actually warning about him. Look at this was going around. This is crazy, right? It says this probably won't escalate. So someone posted this, and I've heard of these Facebook groups, right? Are we dating the same guy? Clarksville, Campbell, and Hopkinsville. Someone posted Dalton, completely unhinged, took advantage of me and my body, and I was terrified he's a racist, has skinned wolves in his trailer, aka a literal shack, bugs everywhere, cameras inside his house everywhere. I'm scared to even post this because the man is insane. Steer clear. I have more screenshots as well. All right, and this was around the time that he was getting banned, same day that he was getting banned from Kick, being fully demonetized and removed his verifications. Okay. It beggars belief, okay? So even just right up to a day before the shooting, even Chud was worried that something was about to happen. He knew this was all about to go left, right? It's the day before.
Yeah, I don't know how to convince you guys that I'm literally a fucking single guy with a camera. Somebody could come up and try to kill me right now. There's nothing I could do about it, but I'm protected by the Lord, and I believe in his divine protection. Other than that, I'm literally a sitting duck.
It's like me every time I go in public. Minus the racism.
Shit sucks.
Sure does. So look, all right. We're getting more and more insight into the Chud lifestyle, okay? I honestly might have to do a deep dive into his earlier relationships. You know, that chick popped out on him, said that she was, the black chick said she was pegging him back in the day. Whoa, that was pretty explosive. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's more embarrassing stuff tucked away in the vault. So I will be digging deeper into I will be digging deeper into Chud. I'll be digging deep into the vaults, trying to find out any embarrassing stuff that's gone on with him. And I'm not 100% convinced he's going to beat these charges. So we will have to wait and see. But I'll catch you guys in the next update.